Hello, good morning. Hi,
Good
welcome.
morning, Mitch. Happy New Year. Batiin mo nga
Happy New
kami,
Year.
yung orig.
Sa Chinese, in Mandarin,
Yes.
新年快乐 to everybody, to all our friends, our Filipino friends, and our Chinese friends, and lahat ng mga nanonood sa atin ngayon. Magandang bagong taon. Happy New Year. Oftentimes we hear the word 新年快aside from 新年快乐，恭喜发财。恭
Yes.
喜发财 actually it's more like fortune, prosperity. So it's all about
I learned something today.
yeah. But
Alam mo, today's special kasi it's in between eh. Kahapon, I think, no, eksakto yung Feb 12 yung Chinese New Year. Bukas naman, Feb 14 is Valentine's Day. So we're caught right in between, kaya magkaibang background natin, Mitch.
That's right. We covered all. We covered both. Right.
Yes. Ngayon, meron akong trivia din for Valentine's Day, kung saan nanggaling yan. Alam nyo ba, may totoong tao na Valentine. Valentino, actually, ano siya, bishop, no? Bishop sa clergy. Matagal na to, 3rd century pa to, during the height of the persecution of the Christians. Yung mga pinapakain ba sa leon? So at that time, hinuli siya. Tapos merong judge na naghusga sa kanya. He was preaching about Jesus. Sabi nung judge, sige, syempre hindi Tagalog, ako lang yan ha. Para matapos para mabilis, meron akong anak na babae bulag. Kung kaya mo siyang pagalingin, papalayain kita at maniniwala ako sa Jesus mo. Kung hindi, patay ka rin. Aba, wow. The miracle happened. Gumaling yung anak niya. Sa madaling salita, nag-convert si judge. At lahat ng pinakulong niya na Christians, pinakawalan niya, pinalaya niya. And then, later on, na-martyr yang si Bishop Valentino. Pero, bago siya namatay, sumulat siya dito sa daughter ng judge, na yung pinagaling niya. Tapos, ang ending ng sulat niya, hindi na natin alam kung anong laman nun, pero ang ending niya, from your Valentine. Doon nangyari.
Doon ang galing.
Doon ang galing. So actually, ano siya? Yung talagang the extreme kind of love, the unconditional kind of love. Later on na lang, naging mga romantic love.
Yeah, pero napaka-interesting at napakaganda pala ng kwento nun dahil sa kanyang pagmamahal.
Oo. Eh,
Although
wag na
tragic,
natin
'di ba?
patagalin, eh, ano bang, love story natin ngayon, Mitch?
Ayun. So, ang show natin ngayon is, it's a Valentine special. It's a love story, of Phil-American couple. Now, sobrang na-excite ako sa show natin kasi gusto ko na talaga silang makilala at I'm just so glad that we have this opportunity to share with all our viewers, no? So, hindi ko napapatagalin. So, I'd like to introduce our guest this morning. First, no, sila yung founders and owners ng Mapicon Philippines, the nation's leader in pest control. Ayan. Mamaya malalaman natin kung how long they've been in existence, but they are definitely the biggest, no? And member sila ng the owner ng Brotherhood of Christian Businessmen and Professionals or BCBP. Ayan. And ang kanyang magandang kanyang asawa, mamaya makikilala natin. These are the parents of Mars. Kaya ito,
Wow!
napaka-special.
Parents ko pala
Wow!
ang guest ngayon.
Yeah. So tawagin na natin ngayong umagang ito at pakilala na natin si Mr. Gonzalo or June Catan and Mrs. Nancy Catan.
Hello,
Ayan.
parents.
Good morning.
Hey, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
We're happy to be here and to be with both of you,
Thank
including
you.
very nice son, Mark.
Oh,
Pretty host. And pretty host, Michelle.
Well,
thank you.
kaya nandito sila, Mitch, because there's something that's not common among couples. Of course, bias ako because they're my parents, but ask them, how long have they been together already?
So, may I call you Tito June and Tita Nancy?
Yep.
So
We have
how-
just celebrated our 56, 58 anniversary.
58!
58 year.
Wow.
We just celebrated.
Itong picture, this was taken at their 50th wedding anniversary.
At parang kahapon lang.
Nag-reenactment kami ng original na kasal nila.
Ay, ang ganda. Ang ganda naman ng picture nyo. Para kayong young couple.
Yes.
Oy,
They were
original,
so
oh.
young.
Ayan, ang wedding picture, batang-bata pa sila.
We got married.
At that time, yes.
22 years
Wow.
old.
Hindi nyo natanong, my dad is a Filipino from Negros Oriental, Bisaya, and my mom is an American from upstate New York, very close to Vermont, the original English settlers, So it would be interesting to ask my mother dear, what are some Tagalog words about love? Or what's the translation of love in Tagalog?
Pag-ibig.
Yes. How about pagmamahal?
Pagmamahal, yes. That's right. Tugma. Bisaya.
Oh, may Bisaya pa, may bonus. Tugma.
I've been meaning to ask. Pasensya na, meron tayong konting echo lang. I've been meaning to ask, ano bang mas malalim na salita? Ang pag-ibig o ang pagmamahal? Ang pag-ibig sa isang babae o ang pagmamahal ko sa isang babae? At
Parang yan, pero mas maganda yung pag-ibig. Iniibig kita. Iniibig kita.
is it more towards a person, an object? So it's more
Person.
Ayan. So,
Wow.
for sure, malalim ang pag-ibig nyo sa isa't isa for 58 years already. So, I'm interested to know.
Siguro, Mitch,
po.
ganito ang gawin natin, ha? Kasi sobrang haba ng 58 years, gawin nating one-on-one, ano? So kami muna ng dad ko, interviewin ko, and then mamaya kayo naman ni ma'am. So, Dad, where did you meet the love of your life?
right there at their house in Vermont, upstate Vermont, right there at their house.
So how
They,
did you get to their house from
I
Negros?
I was a winner of the International Farm Youth Exchange (IFY) program, and as my prize is to give me a round trip ticket to the U.S. That's how I won, and they were my actually the first host family, the shortest host family. The others were always 1 month, but in Nancy's place, only 3 months.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. I mean, 3 weeks. And Nancy's family were engaged in cattle dairy farming.
Wow, 3 weeks lang pala nangyari ang mga pangyayari. Ah, if you were there, that means she was your what? Host sister.
Yes. Yes.
Was it
Wow.
developed? Was it love at first sight, or how did you get interested with her in the first place? So,
As you see, she's very pretty. Love at first sight. You can
Siyempre.
ask love at first sight. And
wow.
So hindi ba ho kayo nahirapan or na-confused, focus kay madam or sa inyong pag-aaral?
Actually, I was
sweet
16,
sweet 16.
and
Oh, wow.
he was the first guy that I really knew. So we,
Uh,
it was
Did you
my
like him already?
First
yeah,
kiss.
first
Uh,
kiss.
while we were sitting on a bale of hay at the dairy farm, I asked Nancy, is it true that you can tell somebody that if you appreciate, you can give it with a kiss? And she said yes. And then when I was about to kiss her while she was sitting in a bale of hay, I did not continue. I said, Nancy, in the Filipino culture, you cannot kiss somebody unless you have already a boy-girl relationship. And the next day, it was already a boy-girl relationship. So after that, we kiss and kiss.
Ito Mitch, I never knew this, Mitch, ano. In the 3 weeks, how many days did it take, towards the end of the 3 weeks or early, or how many days did it take before you were on that bale of hay?
I think it's only about a week. Love at first sight.
And he's a fast work, mabilis.
Hala. Now, of course, we have different cultures. I'm aware that this was the 1960s, di ba? And,
Yeah,
62.
59,
oh,
and then we got
59.
married in 62. Yeah,
And
59.
I'm not sure what the perception of the Americans was about the Philippines, no? Because all the early movies that I had watched in black and white, they perceive the Philippines as a jungle, as alam mo na, yung mga uncivilized place like that. So I'm interested in that. How did you convince mom's parents that you wanted to? How did you let them agree to get married?
Uh, when they heard about me, and we were only for some time, and I told him family about war stories, and he said, Nancy, June can take care of you. He is a survivor, and was easily able to convince, and then he even allowed us to hold hands with Nancy while we were there.
Those were the times na pag nag-holding hands, Mitch, kasal na kagad pagka ganon.
Okay.
How did you
Oh,
convince them, Dad, that you wanted to marry her in the Philippines and not in the US?
um,
What's
No,
that story?
you see, I did not have the money at that time. And I was planning really to take up masters in agriculture at the month so that I can easily visit Nancy. But I realized that without money, how can I support her? She's an American and very much more expensive. So I decided really to go into business first. So when I came back to the Philippines, I started Mapicon with 400 pesos capital. And from that was from my savings when I was with Butika Boy, and then the 200 pesos was from my uh, from the sale of my old typewriter. That's how I was able to start my business, and then eventually also I went there on an exchange deal with the Philippine Airlines, and the Philippine Airlines gave me a two-way ticket return for my servicing the uh, airlines, and also the place where Nancy is to stay at the Hotel Mabuhay was also an exchange deal. Even our place for our honeymoon you was a gift from the chairman of the Forest Council, Richard Bonas.
Our next segment,
Amazing.
Mitch,
I was an exchangee for the flies, mosquitoes, and rats.
yeah, Mitch, you can interview her during the next segment. I'll just
Yes.
uh, say in simpler terms, to get married in the US, my dad had to go there with his parents. So that's 3 tickets going there. And then to go back to the Philippines with my mom, that's 4 tickets going back. So that's 7 tickets all in all.
Mm.
Wala yon. So he convinced my mom's parents na siya lang mag-isa ang bibiyahe to get married in the Philippines kasi isang ticket lang yun mas mura.
Yes.
So yun ang spectacular. Before we end this segment, Dad, please share what were your main points to convince her parents that you will get married not in the US but in the Philippines.
No divorce.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, my dad Jarvis, my potential dad Jarvis, father-in-law, was already convinced that I am a survivor because I lived during the war, and to live during the war is really survival, survival to the fittest. And since also he learned that I am going to go into business, and I just started doing business, he said, "No problem, you can go." And I asked him if possible, only Nancy go, and then you can visit us later. And they really visited us later. So that's how I managed to let Nancy come to the Philippines by herself.
Yeah, maybe mom can fill in what is in the Philippines that was not in the US in the wedding.
Yeah, there's no divorce here. So,
Yun ang when he wrote her parents, the one main reason why I want to marry your daughter in the Philippines is to show you that I'm serious about her because in the Philippines there's no divorce.
Ayun.
that's
Okay, break muna tayo. Inaawat na tayo ng ating technical team.
Oo nga. Sige.
After the break, ikaw na, Mitch. With
Ako
my
naman.
mom.
Yes.
okay.
See you in a while.
Okay.
Tuklasin natin ang lahat ng may kinalaman sa daga.
A single pair of rats or mice can produce up to 15,000 offspring and descendants in just 1 year.
Bawal daw paluin yung daga. Totoo ba yun?
Common na causes ng fire, yung pagnanawid ng mga roof rats.
Welcome to Mappy Conversations. Mga usapang pest control, environmental protection at iba pa.
Wala naman.
Okay, so we're back. Thank you for staying, everyone, and listening to this very unique Filipino-American love story. Mitch,
Okay, medyo nawala ako for a while. So, now I'm glad ako naman ang magtatanong kay Tita Nancy. So, Tita Nancy, it seemed like it was a very, very fast courtship. You only had three weeks. You had to decide right there and then. Parang in your heart, you already knew ba that yes, I would like to be with this man for the rest of my life. And so, did you have any kaba, beforehand when you and Tito June approach your parents? Yeah, what was that like?
Actually, he stayed with us for 3 weeks. And then he went back to the Philippines. And we wrote letters, got serious
Ay,
for about 6 months. And since I was still in high school, I wrote back and said, let's cool it muna. We are not sure what's happening.
Yung pera.
So, at saka, I grew up on a survival level farm, and he was just no
exciting.
employed only at that time. And so we didn't write each other for almost 2+ years, almost 3 years. No birthday card or any Christmas card. Wala. Didn't hear from him.
Carbonella.
And then when I was graduating from college, my second year, I took 2 years only in college. I was boarding at school,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, because I was on a scholarship. And I got a letter from this young man in the Philippines I had not seen for 3 years.
Wow.
And in his first letter, he said, "My dearest Nancy, I cannot forget you. Will you marry me?" So I skipped my class for the day, which I had never done in the history of my education. Wrote back and said yes, and mailed it, I think. And I know that was the hand of God taking over at that time. After that, we corresponded, and that was in March, I believe. And then in December, I flew over here and we were married. That's the short.
Wow. That's a short version of it.
There's a lot of excitement there
Yung
in
Catholic.
between because one of
Ang
them,
ganda. Yeah.
I was born and brought up
Methodist.
as a Methodist. I was very active in our church. And so, as part of the agreement, I agreed to take catechism. And I was baptized a Catholic or about a month before we were married. And one of my best decisions.
Wonderful. Wow. Talagang we can really see, how ang Lord has guided both of you, no? Imagine, dinala pa si Tito June sa Amerika para sunduin lang kayo, no? To pick you and bring you back here to the Philippines. But, what I'm also curious is that for your parents, hindi ba, Tita Nancy, syempre mixed marriage ito eh. First, it wasn't really heard of before. So did they have a heart-to-heart talk with you about the possible future that you might have in the Philippines and being married, that you will be married to a Filipino?
They knew June was a survivor. I was the eldest child, and I had always been taking care of myself and the family, because my mother was very active in the state women's activities.
Mm.
So they were they were concerned, but they never said no. They figured that if I was crazy enough to do it,
Ay, ang picture, oh, that's my mom is the little girl there. She's the eldest. Ang kasunod niya, twins, boy and girl. And those are
Oh,
her parents, my
I
lolo and
see.
lola.
Matangkad din si mommy mo, no? Ang
no,
cute.
Well, I
um,
suppose my lolo Jarvis.
yes, he was
Yeah.
5'11", I think.
So,
My mom was about 5'2", my height.
oh, I see. Alam mo si Tita Nancy, si Mars, kamukha niyo. Malakas ang blood, oo. Now, Tita Nancy, and Tito June, what was it that, would you say that ang pagmamahal or it was Tita Nancy, your love for Tita Nancy and your love for each other that really prompted both of you or prompted Tito June to work really hard, na nagbigay sa kanya ng, ng strength and the not the courage, but the strength and the motivation and the dedication to really excel sa kanyang, pinasok na bagong trabaho or business na itinayo niya for you because of love and for your future. Ganyan ba yun?
I think much of it, yes.
Yeah.
We
And
knew that we wanted to be together, and this would be how we supported. And right after we were married, well, I arrived in the Philippines December 7. We were married December 12. And I was working in the business by January. And I had always just been on the farm. And my first job at the office was to go house to house, knocking on doors and selling pest control, which I didn't know anything about.
ang galing 'no, that's really pagmamahal at, dahil sa inyong pag-ibig 'no, that really, allow you to work together 'no, and to build, a strong foundation, family life together as husband and wife. And then meron kayong negosyo 'no, a strong foundation. Hindi slow worker si Tito June, mabilis siyang magtrabaho. Ano? And Tita Nancy, you said you got married in just what? In just 7 days, 1 week, no? Mabilisan. So who helped you with organizing the wedding? And where was your wedding?
Uh, June's mother organized everything. In fact, it was kind of strange for me because as an American, we're used to trying on our wedding gowns and everything. And
Moreno.
I sent my measurements way ahead of time, and his mother got my dress and everything from Pitoy Moreno.
Wow, Pitoy Moreno. Wow.
I was not allowed, she would not allow me to try it on until I dressed.
Wow. So was the dress made perfectly to your measurement?
Yes,
Oh,
amazing,
fantastic. It's Pitoy
really.
Moreno din, ano? Yeah.
Mhm.
And and what was it like when the first time you met the family of Tito June? Were they very welcoming? Did they embrace you? Paano yun?
Um, they were all there at the airport when I arrived. First time to fly in an airplane, and it was about 27 hours flight at that time.
Wow.
And when I came down and went through the gate, they were all there. All of these brown and black haired people, because in the States it's a lot of colors. And this was they were all there to meet me. And it was really amazing. And as I came through the gate, the first thing that June did was to take my hand and put on the engagement.
Wow.
So,
Naluha kayo. Wow.
And then we were married. I was billeted in Hotel Mabuhay, which was his client. We were married 5 days after that. And the wedding reception was at Kapit Bahay, which was at Dewey Boulevard noon. And we got married, imagine this, at 6 o'clock in the morning.
wow.
2 reasons. One is that we didn't have to have many guests because they couldn't come in the morning. So the wedding reception was not so expensive. And then we went to Baguio Country Club for our wedding honeymoon in care of Richard Bonas, which was a member of the 4-H Council that selected June to go to the States. And even our wedding cake was from Country Bake Shop, which was his client at the time. So everything about the wedding and all was all exchange arrangements with pest control.
Wonderful.
And I'd like to end this segment. Yung next segment natin, yung mga challenges, cultural differences, ganyan, lahat ng experience nila habang kasal. Pero I'd like to cap this segment with the sharing na yun na nga, everything was exchange deal. Pag wala palang pera, pwede palang exchange deal, ano? Yung Philippine Airlines, if I get this straight, hindi naman ito plugging, pero talagang historical eh. Dahil nga, exchange deal yon, isang ticket lang papunta sa Pilipinas, they capitalized on that and made it really a something like a marketing or promo campaign na making love come true or something. Meron pa siyang red carpet pagdating
Their
niya.
motto at that time, they introduced, "Pal puts love in your flight." And they used our example in all of their advertisements.
Nice.
Puts love in your flight. So we'll get back to that the next segment. Meanwhile, I'd like to greet Bonnie who's watching. Yehey daw. We love you too. Arnold Pedrigal, hello from San Francisco. Jimmy Barro, a beautiful couple and inspiring film love story.
Yes.
Imelda Velarde, kung Hefachoy also. Lance, ang ating faithful listener. Wow. So this is from everywhere, from the Middle East, from the US, Philippines. Greetings to everyone who is monitoring us and watching us at this time. See you in a while. We'll be back.
Pwede kayang basura ang maging solusyon sa problema din ng basura? Kakaiba yan. Yan ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Solid Waste Management.
Republic Act 9513, or the Renewable Energy Act of 2008, promotes the development and commercialization of renewable energy.
SSS, start sorting at the source where it is generated.
Welcome to MAPI Conversations. Mga usapang pest control, environmental protection at iba pa.
Prime your taste buds for the finest of culinary magic. We've prepared a gastronomic feast unlike anything you've ever had. Moving heaven and earth to guarantee an unforgettable dining experience.
Uy, tagal ah! Mag-temp check na kami!
Nag-hand sanitize na kami. Nag-fill up na kami ng health declaration form.
Okay, if you're finished, your tables are ready in the new normal of traveling. Safety always comes first.
Ay, layo pala no?
Konting push pati.
Kindly book your reservations in advance. Our limited seating is extremely exclusive. Order with ease online and choose from a cornucopia of exquisite dishes. Our approach to dining is simple. Just you and your food, so you can savor every flavor.
Crispy Papa!
Excuse me. Is this seat taken?
Yes, it's taken by my personal space and physical distancing protocols. PDA, hindi mo ba alam yun? Buti sana kamukha mo yung boyfriend ko.
Nothing gets between you and your culinary satisfaction.
Ay, sir, sorry. Kasalanan niyo eh. Ma'am, sir, bill po.
Hala, naiwan ko yata yung wallet ko
Kuya, ako na lang ho ang bahala.
Sige, ma'am.
Contactless payments, please.
Ako may ipabayadan yung duha.
Saan ba yun?
Enjoy your meal, guys!
Travel safe, mga beshies!
Mabuhay!
Pag naglalakbay.
Have a safe trip, Pinas!
Hi everyone, we're back. And my sister is watching, Ruth. Hello.
Sister mo pala yan. Hello.
Greetings. Talagang we never tire of hearing this love story. And also Romel from Makati. Good morning to you. May iba tayong conference pero magkikita rin tayo doon in a while. Susunod ako. Now,
I'd like to say hi also to Christian Diggy Ash who's watching right now. Hello hello to you sa Camiguin. Mabuhay kayo diyan lahat.
Yes,
Ayan.
of course, Valentine's tayo. So, syempre, kailangan ko batiin ang asawa ko, si Jane. I love you. Ngayon, ise-segue ko na kasi, yun na nga, nung nag-asawa kami ni Jane, may mga adjustments, Fil-am ako, Pilipino siya, pero may kapatid na rin siya na mga pamilya nasa LA. So, medyo, in that sense, Fil-am na rin, ganyan. Konting adjustments here and there. But I could just imagine, especially my mom's adjustments. Biro nyo, never traveled before. Tapos, Pilipino. I suppose, hindi lang yung itsura ng mga tao na brown. Kung hindi, ay pati pagkain, yung weather, humid dito, yung language, hindi naman siya marunong magtagalog at that time, pero ngayon, after how many years, marunong na yan. But I'd like to ask Ma'am, how were you when you were confronted by all of these strange or different cultural things? Pati nga yung biro mo, hindi pwedeng isuot yung wedding gown until wedding day. Buti na lang nagkasya. So, how were you able to cope with these differences, Mother?
And even on the flight over, there was a lot of prayers. And I knew in my heart that this was what God wanted me to do.
Ruth.
And that what I should do is accept and enjoy, even if I didn't like it.
The story of Ruth.
And that is the story of Ruth in the Bible. And Ruth is our daughter, firstborn. That's why we name, because remember in the Bible story, Ruth had to go to another country.
Wherever you go.
Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you live, I will live. Your God will be my God, and we will be happy together.
Yan. Were you excited also?
Of course.
Because you were young, so it was like an adventure for you.
It was an adventure, a big adventure. I had never really been away from home. I had never been on an airplane before. So I come from a farm in the countryside, and I was introduced into the city to live in the city. So it was really a lot of contrast. Everything was contrast. That the Lord just planted me where He wanted me to be. and I knew in my heart that that's what I should do,
Right.
and
So
I enjoyed it.
wonderful, no? But now, okay, you got married. So what came next? What were the challenges na that came after? Or there weren't really any. Share with us the things
Both
that you
Nancy
had to
and I
go
are
through.
very lucky, very fortunate. And as I mentioned before, I started with only 400 pesos capital, but then it grew and grew that we now have 700 workers, 44 branches.
Wow.
So God has been guiding us. And because we, as our culture, pray every morning, and also we have a weekly prayer meeting, and then also go to mass every first Friday. And I think that is the reason why we are blessed with so many much successes. God
Mm.
has been with us all the time, guiding us all the time, and we get all these happiness, successes, miracles that has happened in my life. And we have conducted a lot of sharings with the BCVP, and our team was always the wonderful works of God. And it is because of this that God blessed us with so much blessings, including a very good love relationship. We never had quarrels, serious quarrels, since we got married in December 12.
Wow, so
Wow.
that's possible
Greetings
pala.
from Bambi Rojas. And for dad and mom, Sister Carmeli Katan, mom's cousin, is also watching right now.
Hello.
And also, Romel, sa bagay, nabanggit na kita, loyal talaga. Praise the Lord. So, now, this is unique, Mitch, because most of the marriages that we hear of na PhilAm, the guy is American and the girl is Filipina.
Right.
Ito,
That's right.
baliktad. The guy is
Yes.
Filipino and the woman is
And I'm pure
American. No?
Americano. Oh.
Yes, yes. What are some, do you remember maybe one or two interesting situations, dad or mom, where uh, people probably didn't know how to react or uh, be with you because of this difference?
You know that Nancy was always working, and she likes to work, and she can get bored without doing anything. That is why I decided on the first day of work that she should always work with me. And since then, for many years now, she's always involved in the business. Now, she's the vice president of administration and finance. And it is because of lack of work that get they get bored and they leave Philippines. So in this instance, they can never get bored because he's always busy all the time, even up to now.
Si Tito pala palaging inspired kasi magkasama kay Tito Nancy.
Ah, yes.
So, sometimes people say mahirap ang mag-asawa to work together in one business. Pero in your case, I think this is a foundation. Ang love, ang pagmamahalan po ninyo sa isa't isa ay ang foundation na nag-push sa inyong negosyo na mag-flourish na at lumago ng ganito. Um,
Now, my dad
yes,
is not an ordinary businessman, ha? He's an inventor. Kaya walang tigil ang utak niya, no? Nag-iisip, imbento ng imbento. Can you share, ma'am, of situations about these inventions right in the house?
Ah, yes, because he used me as a way to test his inventions. And one of them was really his rat trap, because he has many patents in rat traps. And so he brought one home, and I set it up in my kitchen where I knew there was a cupboard that had a hole in it where the rats came from. And it happened that day I had also been making cupcakes for the wedding reception of his sister. And I had the cupcakes all out on the table in the dining area to cool so I could frost them on the.
Uy, ako yan nasa picture na yan, ha? That's me and Ruth and my mom in the US. I think I'm 5 years old there, turning 6.
Nice,
Yeah.
ang cute.
Sorry for the
Yeah.
interruption. Go ahead, mom, with your cupcakes.
Yeah. And when I got up in the morning and went to frost the cupcakes, there were no more cupcakes. There weren't any crumbs. They had completely disappeared. And we looked all over and no cupcakes until finally they discovered that in one of the bottom of one of the cabinets behind all the baking trays and all, there was a hole that the rats had come in, and apparently they had several of them. They were able to climb up on the table and take a cupcake and drop it down to the other rat on the bottom. And it was clear. There were no crumbs. It completely disappeared. It was like just disappeared completely. That was one of the experiences. But I have always been one of the testing grounds for his experiments.
Willing naman, no? Pero, yeah.
Ay, lahat yan.
I like,
Daga, ipis, pati yung invention niya about green charcoal. That's probably another episode
another
in the
story, yeah.
future. Lahat yan ang testing ground niyan sa bahay.
Pero may tanong ako, oo, nakakatuwa eh. You know, because it seems like when I see both of you now, you know, you have such bright and positive and lovely aura. It's like you're always in love. Parang nga may puso, you know, around both of you. Parang may puso siya, no? So, aside from, you know, parang wala kayong problema sa isa't isa. But, so, what can you now make payo with our listeners? How to maintain such, you know, loving and strong relationship, you know, for 58 years. Paano? Ano ba dapat gawin, especially now, ang daming mga naghihiwalayan, hindi ba ho?
When you decide to get married, di ba, till death do us part, till
Yes.
death before that, and we have to be serious about it, and that we decided to adjust to each other. Already a decision. You have to make a decision that we have to decide already that we will adjust to each other. In spite of small differences, we adjust. And both of us are willing to adjust. So that is how we adjusted. And then again, as what Nancy shared earlier about the story of Ruth, wherever you die, I will die. Wherever you live, I will live. And we bought already a mausoleum so that we can be buried together when we die. We already have at the Manila Memorial Park and paid about 8 million pesos because we would like wherever we die together. We have said that in during the wedding. So we would like to fulfill that.
You know, my dad is now 84 and mom is 6 years younger, so that makes you mom 78, correct? Yan, 78. And this is their 58th year together. We really, really hope, no? Of course, we have this pandemic and a lot of things to consider. But pwede naman mangarap, di ba? Libre mangarap. Isang pangarap namin magkakapatid and with all their grandchildren also is on their 60th wedding anniversary, which will be on December 2022. Ay sana makapag-sama-sama kami lahat at the place where they met, doon sa farm nila sa US.
Ang ganda. Nice. Oo, nakakatuwa
Ayan,
naman.
that's our family na. Oh. That's
Wonderful.
Moses, our youngest, is there beside my mom, and then dad. That's myself, and then our eldest sister, si Ruth.
Si Ruth.
She runs the company as our COO ngayon.
Nice, galing. It's all in the family. So, Tito June, Tito Nancy, sabi ng isang viewer sabi ni Lance, listening po to Sir June and Ma'am Nancy, may forever pala talaga sa love. Kasi usong-uso ngayon na walang forever. But you are one real testimony na talagang meron forever sa pagmamahal. No? And what you're saying is we need to adjust, we need to constantly adjust, no, and commit to one another.
I think one big factor also is their faith, that they share the same faith at malaking bagay si Lord sa buhay nila. May we request you to give your final words or maybe advice to other couples how you have stayed together for so long and keeping that fire alive.
Yes.
Let me be the first one to advise Nancy. Well, marriage is a commitment. You have to really commit yourself. And also, it is very, very good to be rearing children. That is in Genesis, you multiply. You multiply. And I would like you to also, if possible, read the Bible every day. I think that is the best way we can advise you to be Bible reader. And just like our company people, we always have what we call morning formation. We share our Bible verses for the day. It is a must. And nobody can work in our company unless they agree to read the Bible every day. It's a must. So I would like you to see to it that you read the Bible because the Bible is the Word of God. It is the best guide for you to live a good life, not only in your ordinary working life, but especially in your married life.
Amen.
That is one thing that really is, we have kept together because of our faith in God and knowing that God is going to take care of us. That in everything, God will work for good, whether we like it or not. But He is there. There is always goodness as long as we follow Him. So what I do, what both of us do, is whatever happens, we look for the good in it that God is blessing us with. We may not like it, but in the long run, God knows what is best for us.
And then many wonderful works of God happened, not only to me, but also to Nancy. This house as we are living now is a gift of God, 100%. And then also when I was a consultant of Caltex Pacific Indonesia, he also gave me a miracle. Said lead, divine mercy. So everywhere we go, it's always whether it is the Mapicon Green or Mapicon Philippines, miracles happen. And I cannot attribute to anyone but to our loving God. So we make our Jesus Christ as president of Mapicon Philippines. He is our, I am only the executive vice president.
Ayan, Mitch ha, marami tayong baon. May episode na tayo on green charcoal, may episode tayo on miracles ni Lord, mga healing, tapos about companies na involving religion in their work. Ayan,
Right.
so 3 episode na yan. So thank you very much, Dad and Mom, for joining us. Happy
Thank you.
Valentine's. We love you. Meanwhile, we usually have a quote for the day, but for today, we'll do something different. We have words for the day kasi this is the day of love that we're celebrating. We already are familiar with Eros, which means romantic love. And then meron ding Phileos, which means love among friends. And meron ding, ayan, alam ba yan, bago, Storge, That's
Hindi ko alam yan.
familial love, the love of parents for their children and children for their parents. And of
Nice.
course, meron din tayong agape, which a lot knows, which is the unconditional kind of love. It's the same as the love of God for us. So, yan ang ating words for today. All,
Right.
sa English kasi isa lang yan eh, love. Pero when you
Exactly.
translate it, ang dami-dami palang klase ng love.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we thank everyone for joining us
Right.
today.
Right, Mars. And before we go, I would like to turn over again to your parents, to Tito June and Tita Nancy. Baka you might want to greet or say some words to your friends who are watching, who are listening to you right now before we say goodbye.
To the parents and also to the children, it is one of the promises, a commandment of God. Love your parents, and then God will give you a long life. So please observe the commandment number 4: love your parents, and so you will have long life. So that is the only commandment in God where there is an immediate promise. So if you like a long life, I am 84. In Malacay, in 310 said 80 if you're strong, but I'm already 84. So please be obedient to your parents so that you likewise will be giving a long life. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you. Tita Nancy, would you like to say, would you like to thank any of your friends who are listening or watching? Any specific person or people?
Happy Valentine's to everybody, especially relatives who may be watching in the States and everywhere else, and all of those of our friends and family members wherever you are. Know that God always loves you as long as you love Him.
Amen to that. Yes. And
Yes,
so
let's
ako,
invite. Go ahead, Mitch.
Ako, I just want to say before we leave, no, maraming salamat, Tito June, Tita Nancy, for sharing your beautiful and inspiring love story. And it continues, no? It continues on. Na-inspire po ako sa inyo, and I'm a hopeless romantic. And I'm just getting I have goosebumps all throughout the show. So I love your story, and I hope that all the people watching and listening to us right now will feel that love and will remember all your wisdom, that you have shared with us. Happy Chinese New Year and happy Valentine's. And Kuya Mars, ano na po? Saan
Yes,
tayo
thanks
ngayon?
to everyone for watching. Oscar Ganaban, we're glad to keep you inspired. Meanwhile, we'd really like to invite everyone to keep on watching Upward Living, where we look upward to things that are positive about life, to God, and to everything that lifts our spirits up. Our next episode will be on February 27, 10 a.m. in Manila, and February 26 at 6 p.m. in California and other places in the US. Our topic will be food as medicine with Samantha
Ayan.
Morales as our guest. So join us on February 27, our next episode. Thank you very, very much, everyone, for being with us today. My parents, mom and dad, and Mitch, and to everyone, God loves us all.
Yes, amen to that. Have a nice day, everyone. Have a blessed day. Bye.
Bye.